Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the DEVORAH in the second Midah Noise Avoin, bearing the sin, and we're now bringing it down to our level, how we're going to emulate the ways of Hashem. And we're speaking about the idea, like we said yesterday, how patient a person must be with other people, a spouse with a spouse, a parent with a child, an employer with an employee, and friends, and so on and so forth. We have to be patient and understand that these people who are going to frustrate us and let us down and make mistakes, it's going to happen. But you have to be forbearing, or which means you have to be not so forbearing. You have to cut them some slack, as we say over here in America. Give them a little breathing room. Give them a chance to be able to be misakin, to rectify the mistake. And I'd like to speak about today from the opposite direction of this relationship. And that is that very often people that are in higher levels of authority in the relationship between one and the other person, they end up being the one that causes the other one to be upset and disappointed and let down. For example, parents are not perfect people. We're not. We try our best as parents. We try to stay calm. We try to be relaxed. We try to be loving. We try to give our kids the best chinuch, the best education, the best discipline, the best raising. We try to do the best for our children. We go to classes. We speak to our Rabbi and to our mentors. We read books. We watch videos to inspire us to become a better parent. We do so. We go to training courses. We try so much to be the best parents in the world. And yet, sometimes we make mistakes. We're human. We had a hard day and we come home and we fly off the handle too easy. We get a little upset with our children. We promise our kids something and then we don't follow through with our promises. We show ourselves to be so ready to help anyone in the world. We'll do chesed for everybody. We're running around the whole city, taking people here, doing this, donating money, being honored by this organization, that organization. And then when it comes to chesed in our own home, taking care of our kids, making time, putting the phone away during dinner or bedtime so we could just focus on our kids, we just don't. And the kids, over the years, they become resentful of their parents. They become judgmental of one's parents. They even get angry and upset with one's parents, hurt from the actions of one's parents. A parent yells at a kid today. Even one time, a kid is so fragile they can hold on to that yell for the rest of their life. If a parent will raise a hand and give a patch to a kid today, one time, 4 times, 5 times, each one of those patches, every little hit that the parent gives, it sears into the flesh and the emotional world of that child, and that child can come to hate their parents, Rahman al-Islam. And that's the basics. What about the more complicated things? Parents who are loose cannons, parents that don't have the greatest midas, parents who don't have the best shalom bayis in the house, and they bring that in front of their kids with the screaming and the yelling and the fighting and the bickering. How much a child can end up growing up and holding it against their parents for years and years and years, maybe never forgiving them. Noise Avoin. The trait of Noise Avoin, to bear the sin, it's not only on a parent to a child, it's on a child to a parent as well. A child has to realize at a certain point in their maturation process, as they get older and their mind expands and they begin to realize it's not easy being a parent. It's not easy to be on your best behavior all the time. It must have been hard for my father when I know that he lost his job for the 3rd time and he was just trying to crunch the numbers at the end of the month and be able to pay all the bills. And I came running in and I asked him, could he get me a new car? And he screamed and he yelled at me. It must not have been hard. It must not have been easy for my father at that point. And my mother, God bless her, she has 10 children and they're all under the age of 10 years old, and she's pulling out her hair and she's a schmat and she's going crazy, she's sleep deprived and she's malnutritioned and all the different things. And here I am, a little whippersnapper, and I come to my mother and I ask, can you take me for a ride over here? I need to go to my friend's house. And my mother just looks at me with that glare. How dare you ask me for anything? It must not be easy to be a mother. And therefore, if a child will go through their life with their parents and they will realize, and they will have benefit of the doubt, my parents tried their best. They tried to raise me in the most beautiful possible way. They sent me to the schools that they thought were the best schools, and they put me in the neighborhood that we thought was the best neighborhood, and they tried to get the friends that were the best friends, and they tried to love me the best way possible and to be patient. They tried. But no parent is perfect. And therefore a child also has an obligation, noisei avoin, to bear the sin of the parents. How many children harbor animosity against their parents forever and ever and ever, not realizing parents are human beings also. Sometimes when the kid himself becomes a parent and he's raising his own children, he begins to realize how difficult it is that when you're up at 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. and then to be exhausted the next day and try to function at work or try to function in kollel and then come home at the end of the day wiped out like a zombie, and your kids start screaming and yelling and you end up getting upset, then they realize, oh, maybe that's what was happening in our house. We had so many little kids running around and my father was stressed out and my mother. Have noisei av and be patient. Patient with one's parents. And the same thing it is with the employee to the employer. Sometimes no boss is perfect. Bosses make mistakes. They do things that are wrong. They make judgment calls that are inappropriate and wrong in the office, and they can end up coming to hurt somebody, causing a loss in money, causing the business not to run the right way. Patience. Have patience. You know how hard it is to run a company? How many people you're dealing with? How many different emotions you're dealing with? Putting out fires over here, and you have clients that are getting upset with you and yelling with you on the phone, and you have people that are working in the office that are bickering with each other, and the vibe in the office is not what you want it to be. Have patience, relax, let the person prove themselves, give them time to make things better. Just give them time, be patient, says the DEVORAH. If a person lives a life like that, so then they are going to be godly. They're going to be with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They're going to be in a world, in a realm where things don't bother them, don't rustle their feathers. They're able to be calm and relaxed. Because just as Hashem is noisei ava and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He bears the sin with great patience and slowness to His anger, we too have to do the same thing. Be patient with another person. Be patient with your mother. Be patient with your father. Be patient with a brother and a sister, an aunt and an uncle. Be patient with the boss. Be patient. And if you'll be patient with them, then you'll get the biggest bracha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be patient with you. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos.